Of all the athletic slogans in the world, there's one. There is one, my friend, that has reigned supreme. You know it. It is the Nike slogan, just do it. Well, next up, I'm going to take that slogan and I'm going to show you how important that slogan is to your ministry, to your calling, and to the work that God has called you to orchestrate. Let's go. Something free for you. Boom, boom, boom. That's the free signal. You know what it is. And it is a new masterclass called 3 Secrets to Start and Grow Your Ministry. How cool is that? It's a free masterclass. The link is in the description. Take advantage of it because the 3 things that I'm teaching aren't just secrets. They're paradigm shifts. That's right. It's like this, and then it goes like that. A paradigm shift for you. And it'll apply to a lot of different things in life. So take advantage of it. And then if you've ever been curious about what God Dream University, the Mastermind, looks like, at the end, I actually pull back the curtains and you can take a look at what GDU looks like on the inside. So take advantage of it. Again, the link is in the description. Now, let's get into the content. The slogan, just do it, comes from Nike. But actually, what's interesting is I'm actually not going to talk sports. I'm going to talk about a young lady who's playing the guitar. Her name is Roseanne Cash. And in her 2011 memoir called Composed, she starts to talk about this idea of turning pro. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is taking a step and changing the perspective on your work in ministry to not being something that is a consideration, but something that is actually a commitment. Not just something that has amateur habits, but begins to adopt professional habits. Professionals have professional habits. And here's what she says, and I think it is so, so good. She is in the process of starting to change this mindset and approach her work. Now, we could consider this in ministry. If you're not leading a ministry, but you're going to work or you're leading a business, the same thing is going to apply. I'm just speaking in the context of ministry, but take this in. Here's what she says. From that moment, I changed the way I approached songwriting. I changed how I sang. I changed my work ethic. I changed my life. I sought out Marge Rivingston in New York to work on my voice, and I started to train. Have you ever approached your work in ministry as if you are training, becoming a disciplined ministry athlete for the Lord? Started training as if I were a runner in both technique and stamina. I started paying attention to everything, both in the studio and out. If I found myself drifting off into daydreams, an old entrenched habit, I pulled myself awake and back into the present moment. Instead of toying with ideas, I examined them and I tested the authenticity of my instincts musically. I stretched my attention span consciously. I read books on writing, and she goes on and on and on. And you know what she's doing? She's saying it's time to just do it. It is time to no longer dabble in this, but to actually proclaim that I'm turning pro. To make the commitment that what I am doing is worthy of being intentional. What I am doing is worthy of striving for excellence. And that is so, so important. I can give you a piece of scripture out of Proverbs. I got it right here. Proverbs 14, verse 23. All hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Now, we're not talking about money. And I don't even know if this piece of scripture is completely honing in on money. You could say it would have to do with maybe some form of accumulation of wealth, but it goes far beyond that. All hard work brings a return, but mere talk only leads to poverty, only leads to limited results, only leads to less. Right? Have you ever been in a room where everybody just talks, but never has adopted professional habits? They have amateur dreams with amateur habits. And what I'm saying is the calling that God has given you, the calling that God has given me, it's worthy of saying it's time to just do it. It's time to say, I am now turning pro. I am not being a dabbler in ministry. I am becoming a ministry leader, a ministry professional, which means if I'm going to be a ministry professional, I'm going to adopt professional habits. Have you ever been in the room? Let me go there again, where you have just talked and people have talked about ideas, pondered situation, thrown out things against the wall, but never truly taken action or never adopted habits that would bring those ideas to fruition. Let me read it again. All hard work brings profit, but mere talk only leads to poverty. You guys, in Colossians it says, whatever we do, we are to work as if we are working for the Lord. And that's not an amateur perspective that we should come to. Our work should be saying, you know what, Lord, I'm turning pro for you. I'm going to adopt professional habits because I have a professional dream that is going to lead to the kingdom growing. It is a dream that God has seeded in you. The Lord has seeded dreams in me, and we are called to be intentional and excellent about it. Roseanne Cash would go on to achieve much success, and she would attribute much success to the shift in her mindset and the external and internal habits that she would adopt and apply day in and day out. Just do it, the slogan, like just making the declaration of just do it. You know how powerful it is? Nike, their market share in athletic shoes and apparel went from 18% to 43% through a declaration. That equated to the company transitioning from $877 million per year to $9.2 billion in market share by simply making the declaration that they were going to do it. Is proclaiming that I'm going to just do it for the Lord worth it? Is proclaiming that you are turning pro in the ministry that God's calling you to lead worth it? Yes. Yes, you are worthy. If God has given you a dream, you are worthy of treating that with intentionality, with excellence, and honoring what God is calling you to do so that the people He is calling you to serve would see the hope of Jesus Christ. God bless. Hey, if you enjoyed this piece of content and felt like there was value in the content provided, or perhaps this information could minister and speak into the lives of other people, maybe even friends that you have, I'm going to ask for your help. Would you please subscribe to this channel so we can join hands together and lead people to become more ministry focused in their lives? Thanks so much. God bless.